Award season always gets a little political, but last night's Screen Actors Guild Awards, when actress and longtime activist Jane Fonda accepted her Lifetime Achievement Award, she had something to say. Take a look.
What we create is empathy. Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people. Even if they're of a different political persuasion, we need to call upon our empathy and not judge, but listen from our hearts and welcome them into our tent, because we are going to need a big tent to resist successfully what's coming at us.
So are people going to take the message to heart? These are two different questions, neither which I really want to ask. But
what do you want to know?
When you heard her say that, which is, inclusion, what'd you think?
I loved that. I loved that tone, because I think when you, the reason as an independent I lean left is the empathy. It's so easy and natural to have empathy for people that are oppressed, minorities, LGBTQ+, you name it, any group.
What about the conversations you and I have had, Whoopi, so many times about the co-opting of the word woke? And the fact that the right somehow has made it a dirty word. To be woke is a word that came out of the African-American community, and it was about acknowledging social justice inequities, acknowledging people suffering. It is not a bad thing to care about other people, to care about the sufferings of others, and to act upon it. And so Whoopi will often tell me, well, I've never been asleep. Yeah. And that's how I feel. My parents, they grew up in the civil rights movement. I grew up in the late 60s, 70s. I was always a part of it. And so I've never been asleep. And so it angers me when people are like, this woke stuff, it's got to go. That's telling me that you don't care about my lived experience. You don't care about the oppression of the LGBTQ community. You don't.
Yeah, we don't care.
Right.
We really don't.
They finally got one thing right. They're absolutely right. I don't care about your lived experience, princess. I really don't. I have no desire to sit and listen to Hanoi Jane talk trash about American politics, empathy, and where's your heart? Really, bitch? Really? The audacity with these folks are off the charts. Sitting there saying, well, I have empathy and inclusion for everybody. When you drag conservative people every single damn day of the week, every day of the week, they've got something nasty to say about President Trump. They talk trash about his wife, his kids, everything. Tell me again about how you want Republicans to lay down the sword. We're going to keep our foot on the gas, team. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep our foot on the gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shelly, you heard what she said. Did you hear what the other lady, the first lady that spoke with the blonde hair? She talks about empathy for minorities, people that are oppressed, LGBT. Why? Just because they're minority? Just because they're LGBT? Why are we required to have empathy just because of someone chooses to sleep with the same sex?
Because these people, these are the type of people, they think of us as little pets, as animals, the little, what they call them, the emotional service dogs or animals, the little ones, the little bitch yappers that you see people walking with and they're carrying like children. That's why they think of us. They think that we are, we're imbeciles, that we can't think, that we can't make decisions, that we just can't figure things out without them, okay, I like you, I have empathy for you. That's how they think of us. They are full of it. I wanted to respond. If you all go back and watch that clip, I gotta say this, because when I heard it, I was livid. When Anna gave her little part, why did that bitch use my words?
What?
Anna said that people should show up, speak up, and stand up. I've been saying that last year about people should show up, speak up, stand up, and I say strap up. That bitch plagiarized me and did not give me credit for it. This is what we get on The View. Are you serious? When I heard that, a double take. You know, like, wait a minute. No, she did not just say that. So that tells me that they're watching us. But bitch, Anna, I'm going to kind of find a way to communicate to you and your producers because you owe me an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed, Shelley.
Yeah. Tyrone, what did you think of that exchange? And particularly about what Sonny Hostin said, that woke, there's nothing wrong with woke. Is that the case?
There's a lot wrong with woke. This whole thing about, you can be empathetic on your own and knock yourself out. But when you start to meld it with the political, economic, social direction of the country, that's when we start having a problem. Okay. Especially in a country like America, that's a melting pot. Okay. So the fact that they even platformed Jane Fonda gives you a clear window into who they are. Okay. This is a woman that should have been tried for treason.
Exactly.
She served as a piece of propaganda for the Viet Cong against American prisoners held in Vietnam. Wow. Nobody seen, a lot of people don't remember that because that's what she's famous for. Jane Fonda really didn't have any movie credits to speak of that were extraordinary. She was just Peter Fonda's daughter. And she went over with her silver spoon, sat on a cannon, an anti-aircraft cannon that had been used to bring down maybe John McCain's jet. Okay. Wow. And she just lapped it up. So the fact that now here she is decades later and is being platformed by, these shrews at The View, who most of which are probably too dumb to even realize who Jane Fonda is just deplorable.
Yeah.
They probably just remember her from the workout videos.
That's probably it.
Yeah, I agree. With this whole idea of woke, of course it's bad. It's not, it used to be, well, I won't even say woke. I mean, as far as the left is concerned, the left used to be, it's particularly when you talk, let's say, about feminism, in the early 1900s, it was about women's suffrage. Then you had the second wave feminism, which was about Title IX in the 70s, the Civil Rights Act. They fought for women, against domestic violence, fought for homeless women's shelters and things like that. Now you've gone into the woke, and the woke is this girls gone wild feminism. So, not only are they're not fighting for equality, they're fighting for the right to equate porn with liberation. So it's, the inclusion thing is how women should be able to sleep with as many people as, this is the idea of feminism. Slut yourself out. Women are no longer independent. Now they're whores. And this is sort of mainstream. And then they push this on as young as, elementary school girls and up. This is what woke is. Woke is this idea that, the transgender narrative and ideology where, we're no longer fighting for women. We're fighting for, as Shelley would say, men with dicks who want to be chicks. So this is woke, and it's awful. It's horrible. So for them to sit there and say that that's not the case, is way off.
Woke is beyond liberal. This is why, sometimes I get a pet peeve when people use the word liberal, and it's not. Liberalism, classic liberalism, is way different than what we have as woke today. So woke is ultra left or far left, as they would say, progressive. Anything that can be turned upside down will be turned upside down, and then it's presented as normal or good or right or practical or whatever. And not only that, woke even goes a little bit further, that after they twist it upside down, they get the lawfare, if you will, and the media, they want to force you to believe it.
Yeah. You think about how many people were fired from work for not using someone else's preferred pronouns, right? You think about those moments when they took the idea of consciousness, which they're saying woke used to be, probably in the 70s, I don't know. But if that was the thing then, they took this thing and did what Democrats do. They play with language and they make it mean something that it didn't start out being. Hopefully, that you won't make the connection. And what the right has successfully done is said, no. This is not the woke of the 70s. This is, books about little boys getting screwed by their teacher with the strap on. That's what's woke today. When you play with language, we have to toe the line with them. Just the same thing we did with all those stupid pronouns. What's your pronoun? What's your pronoun? I refuse.
Right.
Absolutely. We should all continue to refuse and also call them out for this, because they've been, this is like the third time I've heard this on the left recently. They're trying to give this whole idea of woke a facelift.
Yeah,
as good as Jane Fonda's. So, we got to push back against this stuff and call it for what it is. All right. And one thing I wanted to talk about is the idea, so the left all constantly play on race. They're always saying, you got to be on the side of the brown and people. Well, we didn't hear them cheer for Kash Patel when he became the FBI director. He's a brown person. I didn't see any celebrations on the left for him. So what happened there?
Remember, there is always a hierarchy. I don't care what side you're on, but certainly for the left, these communists, there's a hierarchy. And Kash Patel, as brown as he is, or brown and black, whatever they call it, he doesn't fit the ideology. So he does not uphold, not even does he uphold it, he doesn't even, promulgate the ideology of the left. There is still a hierarchy. People keep seeming to think that everybody on the left, on the communists, you're all equal in this one big pot. No, you're not. You are deluding yourself, or either you're just ignorant as far as communism or what communism is and how it works. It's still a hierarchy.
Okay.
And add to that, Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, is openly gay. Recent appointee by Trump. You don't see any celebration of that on the left.
Scott Turner, the HUD secretary, black man from the South,
right? Right? Yeah.
No claps for him.
Isn't Pam Bondi the first female attorney general?
No, Loretta Lynch. Loretta Lynch.
No, it was the tall woman.
Janet
Reno. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we will continue to keep them in line and push back against the lies.